Bill Gates says that within the next decade, you're about to become a part-time human. Well, that's basically what he said. And if anyone should know, it's Bill Gates. He's been predicting the future of technology for decades. He even once predicted that spam will be solved by 2006, which clearly worked out perfectly. So the question is, should we be celebrating the arrival of a 3-day work week or preparing for something far messier? Because in the real world, work doesn't just involve intelligence. It involves broken systems, complicated processes, and Mark from accounting printing every email just in case. And once you understand how organizations actually function, you understand that Bill's prediction is not the real story. Let's take a closer look. The last time one of Bill's predictions went viral, things got weird fast. Moving on, there's not one of those types of channels. Bill now predicts that within a decade, AI will do everything from replacing doctors and teachers to claiming humans won't be needed for most things.
And to be fair, after calling Virgin Mobile to cancel my broadband and spending 3 hours listening to elevator music, I can see why. And Bill would just love that, wouldn't he? Bill, we're on to you. Unless you're already tracking us. In that case, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, but remember, we're not one of those types of channels. But if you've ever worked inside a large organization, you know something important. Technology doesn't automatically change how people work. Yeah, I know. Because work isn't just about processes. It's about habits, politics, fear of change, and occasionally trying to figure out who keeps stealing Rachel's yogurt from the office fridge.
AI might be able to write reports, analyze data, and even generate marketing campaigns. But do you honestly think it's going to seamlessly transform workplaces where Brenda still prints out every email and manually cross-checks spreadsheets because she trusts paper more than the cloud? Real work involves emotional intelligence, gut feeling, and navigating passive-aggressive Slack threads. AI isn't particularly good at any of that.
And that's why predictions about a 2 or 3-day work week miss something important about how the world actually works. There are 2 major issues that AI enthusiasts consistently overlook.
In theory, large corporations should benefit the most from AI. They have the budgets, the data, and access to the best technical talent. But in reality, many of their systems are held together by crossed fingers.
Behind the glossy digital transformation presentations are layers and layers of legacy software older than their youngest employees. Databases communicate with each other through a series of panicked emails. And entire departments exist solely to explain processes that nobody fully understands anymore.
You think plugging a powerful AI system into that environment will magically fix everything? It's far more likely to trigger a digital meltdown that takes down payroll, procurement, and possibly the coffee machine ordering system.
I mean, it's like we're acting like AI is about to manage billion-dollar corporate strategies, when half the team still believes performing a VLOOKUP makes them Mark Zuckerberg. As a reminder, that function has existed for more than 30 years.
Do we really expect AI to run the business when Greg from accounting still saves Excel files by emailing them to himself? Implementation in the real world is messy. Look at the NHS, which still relies on fax machines and fragmented databases. Yup. Are we realistically going to plug in an AI system and expect it to revolutionize a 70-year-old healthcare bureaucracy overnight?
Yeah. They'll probably spend the next decade just trying to get their existing systems to communicate with each other. And I know, they're currently trying.
And if getting John from accounting to talk to Clive from downstairs is already a challenge, Handing control to artificial intelligence probably isn't going to produce a relaxing 3-day work week anytime soon.
So, Bill's prediction sounds a lot like it came from someone who hasn't had to troubleshoot a legacy system crash since the 1990s.
But maybe the situation is different for smaller companies.
Not really. You see, most small businesses don't have the resources to automate their way into a leisurely 3-day work week. They're usually too busy just trying to keep the lights on.
Take Adrian, the founder of Jimbro Optimized, the supplement brand for people who believe they've uncovered what Pfizer is actually doing.
Build me a brand based on something trending, a movement, something that actually speaks to the warriors, Pone, the people who get it.
Adrian isn't exactly swimming in VC funding. Although, to be fair, that's partially because investors became slightly nervous when he explained that fluoride in tap water is part of a government conspiracy.
You see, Adrian's AI budget mostly consists of asking ChatGPT to write slightly less embarrassing Instagram captions. So the idea that he will suddenly gain access to the same powerful AI systems used by multinational corporations with dedicated research labs is about as likely as Adrian understanding the actual science behind his Big Pharma detox blend.
Adrian has more urgent problems, like figuring out why his website takes 10 seconds to load, and why his customer support inbox only contains questions from his mom.
Why is this not working? I need my Instagram to start growing.
Running a small business already involves product sourcing, logistics, marketing, and sales. And Adrian isn't about to hand all of that over to AI and take 5 days off every week, now is he?
He is far more likely to work 7 days a week, just trying to keep Jimbro Optimized afloat, while emailing Jeff Bezos to ask why Amazon suspended his store. Again.
There's another problem with predictions about AI transforming work. They assume everything else stays the same. But if AI really changes the economy that dramatically, it will also change far more than just how many days we work.
Take Brian Johnson, the tech entrepreneur who believes AI will help humanity dramatically extend lifespan. His entire project is built on the idea that advanced technology could eventually allow humans to live far longer than we do today.
Now imagine that scenario in a world where AI performs most of the work. You see, if people start living to 150 years old or even 200 years old, what does retirement even mean anymore?
Why would anyone retire at 65 if they still have another 100 years ahead of them? We are planning for a future based on assumptions that might not longer apply.
So if AI really transforms society at that scale, it won't just affect work. It won't. It will force us to rethink education, careers, retirement, and the entire structure of our lives. Which is why predicting the exact shape of that future is far harder than it sounds.
For now, 2026 is already complicated enough. Just try to predict what will happen at the White House by the end of this week. You might have better luck predicting what will happen by the end of today.
So, AI is here to stay, and it will absolutely reshape many job roles. But the idea that we'll all be relaxing on a 3-day work week by 2035 while robots handle everything else is where the hype train starts to derail.
It's not the first time we've heard predictions like this. In 1966, Time magazine predicted that computers would eliminate 90% of jobs by 1984. And yet, here we are, still working, still attending meetings that could have been emails, and still forgetting to unmute ourselves on Zoom.
But look, technology can make us more productive, but productivity alone doesn't automatically transform society. For a 3-day work week to become a reality, we wouldn't just need better tech. We would need major changes in how businesses operate, how economies function, and of course, how people think about work itself. Clearly, this is something somebody with Bill's intellect understands. Yet, AI can absolutely increase productivity, but what it can't change easily is human resistance to change itself.
What Bill isn't telling you is that AI doesn't reduce work, it reshapes it. And in most cases, that means more complexity, different jobs, not fewer working days.